Hello, it's me, Evermore Sol, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be doing a pick a card reading regarding what ancestor is visiting you in your dreams. So usually, people talk about who's visiting in your dreams. We're going to be focusing on what ancestor is visiting you in your dreams. So before we jump into it, I think there's a couple of things I need to know. So I want to say, at least for me, anytime an ancestor has visited me in my dream and I really connected with them, like gotten to know their personality, their name, and really be able to make that deep connection with them, they've usually come to me one at a time. Anytime ancestors come to me and it's more than one of them, it's usually really hard for me to pick up on all of that in a dream and remember it when I wake up. So I've noticed that they typically come one at a time to not overwhelm me, and so I can get all the knowledge. I also want to say it does help to ask questions in that dream. If you are aware at that time that you are connecting with an ancestor, and if you aren't aware and you don't realize it until you wake up because you just realize, sometimes it hits you a little late. Of course, taking the time out your day to connect with them, then to ask them questions and seeing what they say and what comes through. And I also want to say when you do connect with an ancestor like that, dedicate a ritual to them, connecting them, thanking them for connecting with you, and just really taking time to sit with them and get to know them, and vice versa. So I just wanted to get that out the way and just let people know, because I feel like what you don't want to do, or what at least what I feel like you shouldn't do, is immediately request for them to do something. I think you really need to take time to thank them, give them an offering, and really just truly get to connect with them and get to know their personality and who they are as a person. Especially because what I've noticed is getting to know an ancestor's personality, the trade that they were in, and just their origin is going to help you know which ancestor to go to about specific things. If you want a specific thing done, of course you can always call on all of them, but there are specific times where if I know someone is really good at doing this, I'm going to go to them rather than call them all in, and I know that's not everyone's strength. So that's just what I wanted to get out the way and say. So you can choose between 4 of these decks. I'm going to be using all of the decks in each reading. All of this is going to be an on-camera shuffle, but feel free to choose 1, 2, 3, or 4. And before we even jump into the reading, we're going to talk about or shuffle some little pre-made cards I made regarding their profession, the setting you could be meeting them, how they may appear, and what they may be wearing. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. So for those of you that chose the Shamanic Healing Oracle, this is going to be the one for you. Like I said, we're going to be using all of the decks. I'm going to be shuffling to see how they appear, their possible profession, possible gender, or things of that nature. I may do a little, cut of this, because I know this is going to be some really weird shuffling, because these are, well, some came out. We have Singer, but I want to get appearance, where you will be meeting them in colors, so that may take a couple of shuffles. So if you see any jumpy cuts, that's the reason why. Okay, we got Village, Hunter, Medium. Okay, so medium not as in actual medium, but medium as in skin tone. Okay, so let's see if we can get. Also have Desert. This is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you haven't met them yet, then keep these things aware when you dream. Okay, so I finally got all of them. So for those of you that chose the deck number 1, the ancestor is most likely going to be medium tone skin. They may be wearing the colors brown, orange, or silver, or a combination of these. They may appear in a village or a desert within your dream, so that will be the setting of the dream. And so the profession that they may have is hunter. They may be a hunter, a singer, a storyteller, so they may also tell their songs tell their stories through songs. And then magician. Magician is just really it's a category for any type of person who works with magic. I didn't want to be specific because this is a general reading, and this can be a variety of different cultures, so I just left it as basic magician. So feel free to keep a note of all of this. Again, it's a general reading. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So now I'm going to start doing the on-camera shuffle of the message that you have. So keeping in mind that they may appear in a village or a desert, medium tone skin, possibly a hunter, storyteller, or singer, or magician. What message do you have for your descendant today? What message do you have for them, ancestor, that will be appearing in a dream or has already appeared in a dream? Slow but steady. Okay, just keep note of these. No, I want these to come out. Okay. Oh, that makes sense, especially if it's a magician. Actually, all of this makes sense because we have psychic development, feminine energy, and slow but steady. Makes sense to me for all of these. These are qualities that all of these professions will have, especially. Now, let me make note of this. When I'm considering an ancestor in the dream, I'm considering older than great-grandparents. We usually know up to great-grandparents or great-great. This is like before great-great-grandparents. So what's immediately coming through is for them telling you to slow down. Makes sense because, we're thinking about older ancestors in the time, especially again if it was a village or a desert they were living in and it's that far back, there wasn't this huge rush we have nowadays to always move forward and to be jumping from one thing to the next. They're really emphasizing patience, and I'm hearing some of you may be trying to increase your psychic powers or your psychic development, and they're saying slow and steady is what's going to win the race. We have 10 of a basket, so they're really emphasizing for you to enjoy life now as it is. 3 of Knives. I'm hearing don't dig yourself in a grave. So some of you may be busybodies, and part of them coming to you, especially when we think of these professions, you can't rush hunting, you can't rush magic, you can't rush stories or song. All of these professions you have to have some type of patience for. And then we have Father Sims, which is the Temperance card in this deck. So they're really emphasizing for you to simply enjoy the moment as is, especially if you're developing your gifts, and I can attest to this. There's nothing you're going to accomplish by trying to rush your developing gifts, except for scare yourself. Except for scare yourself. At least that's kind of what happened in my case. They're saying to not bite off more than you can chew. And look, we got the Coal Mine Brothers, and my biggest thing is this emphasis of protection, and that's what I mean by you can possibly scare yourself. Just that can really throw you off of your path is what I'm hearing. And really this emphasis on feminine energy of just being and allowing yourself to be in the flow of things rather being all about action and doing. They really want you to focus more so on absorbing rather than doing all of these things. I'm hearing performing all of these rituals like right at the beginning or back to back, because performing a ritual takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of work. You're going to be tired afterwards. It'll be best to recuperate. And that's why I heard absorption, because it's best after you do a ritual to absorb the energy of that ritual than trying to jump into something else right after. They're really emphasizing just absorbing. I heard, oh, I'm getting chills. They said absorb what I tell you, absorb the messages I give to you. Because I feel like this, when your ancestor comes through a dream, it's not really a one and done thing, because you get to know them so well. This is an ancestor, we work with all of our ancestors a lot, yes, but when you get to know one to this extent that you have not met in your life or you didn't have awareness about, you start to develop a special bond with them. At least that's been the case in my opinion. And they're just really trying to get you to have this understanding of not rushing the process. And they said, do not let this modern age dictate your life, which makes complete sense. Do not let this modern age dictate your life. Don't think that just because, you know, society right now says that everything needs to be done right now, you know, if you haven't accomplished, I'm hearing this, that, or the third, you know, you're not completely happy with this 10 of baskets, or, you know, you fail. Or I even heard if some of you have made some mistakes in your life and it's gotten you in a position that you do not enjoy, that does not mean you are a failure. The hunter just said, all of them, no, the hunter specifically, they said, you know, if you make a mistake and you don't accomplish something right away, you know, when we think of the hunter, they probably didn't catch every hunt, especially in the beginning. You know, they probably missed some prey, and you know that might have been a little bad for whatever they were in at that time, because you know at that time hunting was the main source of food. They said, you know, that doesn't mean that everything is over. You just get up and try again, but don't let anybody dictate that you are a failure. So it's a couple of messages coming through for you all, which makes sense because it's a general message, and we have multiple ancestors coming through in multiple professions. But the overall message is just learning to go slow and being okay with that, to not dig yourself in a grave, to be more so okay with absorbing things and being in the state, I heard, of receiving certain things rather than always focusing on trying to do something or trying to accomplish something, especially again with the psych development. Sometimes you have to be okay with just using the gifts that you have currently rather than trying to develop something new. I'm hearing to hone these certain skills into not perfection, but proficiency, being proficient in a skill before trying to move on to another one. They're really just speaking of not thinking that you need to have everything figured out right away. That's really coming through strongly for them. Oh yeah, so I have a couple flip over, but this one is standing out to me. We have Asheo, which is the Fool. When the roots are deep, there is no reason to fear the wind. Like I said, if you have made a mistake or you've done something in your life, and because of what you've done, you're not exactly happy with where you are at, that does not equate to you being a failure in life. It does not. And this is a message even I have to remind myself of sometimes. And they're saying that modern society may be influencing you too much. I'm hearing disconnecting from the world or from social media for a while would be good. That comes through a lot because it's a message we need to hear often, and the ancestors didn't have social media, so they don't want us see getting bent out of shape for all of these modern things when, you know, they are not important. Got multiple cards again, but with this Asheo, when the roots are deep, there is no reason to fear the wind. As long as you're moving with authenticity. There we go. I think authenticity is the right word. And you are living your purpose as you know it, and you are enjoying life in the present moment. All of the other small things, like feeling like you're a failure because you're not moving to society's standard, or feeling like you have to rush through life, because really I'm getting the feeling that a lot of this has to do with comparison. They're saying don't compare yourself. All of these things just become minor in a way. Really would just like one card, but if another one flips through and it's just one card, there you go. Yeah, they want you to transform your life. We have Iku. If you do not know death, look at the grave. So I'm really getting the feeling that they want you to go through and transform your life. I'm getting the feeling that they're saying you're too busy, you're trying to rush through too much, you're working yourself to exhaustion, you're working yourself to the grave. You need to focus more so on being in the present moment. And I forgot, my bad, ancestor speaking, I have a birthday coming up. Pour libations for me. So clearly they they would like something in return as well, just because the ancestors like being remembered. And like I said, you know, this is one kind of, if this is one that's older than great-great-grandparents, then, you know, a lot of people may not remember them because they've passed on already, so they like to be remembered. But yeah, just do not dig yourself in the grave by trying to get to society's standard of happiness, is what I'm hearing. You find happiness in what you find happiness in, no matter what it is. Being able to be in a state of absorption of the good things I'm hearing, like ancestor messages of things that bring you happiness, things that bring you joy. I'm hearing hobbies that bring you joy, finding balance in your life. Especially I heard work-life balance, because I can't help but think that some of you are workaholics possibly, and you just are doing way too much, and they just want you to just be and not go through all this hardship and struggle and exhaustion and all these different things. They really want you to be present in the moment, and that makes sense with their profession and why they're coming to you. Again, we have storyteller, singer, hunter, and magician, or the magic person. And all of those things require being in the present moment in order to, you know, actually do it. And I feel like that's the biggest thing with you. They're telling you to slow down and be in the present moment and find your own standard of happiness, because that's what's going to bring you pure joy. And don't worry about all this outside noise that society throws at us. Focus on yourself more than anything else at this time. Okay, so with that being said, this was the reading for my number ones. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like and comment, letting me know if it resonated. If you would like to see more of me or my content, then make sure you smash that notification bell and the subscribe button. And thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and have a blessed day and a beautiful life. Bye. So for those of you that chose the second deck, we're going to go ahead and jump into possible professions, appearance, where you may see them in your dream. So if it's any choppy, it's because it's really hard to shuffle these, and I don't want to waste your time essentially with me doing all this shuffling. So if it's any jump cuts, that's the reason why. So where are they going to see you? Impossible. I just want to double check. Those for number 2, those that chose deck number 2. Okay. Let's see what comes out. Okay, so we have speaker, or leader of a specific thing. Essentially what the speaker is referring to. This is a variety of cultures that we could be looking at, so I didn't want to make it specific and be exclusionary in any shape, way, or form. Interest rates number 2. Ooh. I have an island. Teacher. I know it's a lot going on, but again, this was a general reading, and they could have a plethora of appearances because we have so much going on. It's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. So the colors they may be wearing is gold, white, or brown, or a variety of combination of these colors, maybe 2 of them or maybe all 3. For gender, we have third gender, so not in our typical whatever, well, not in the typical, you know, man or woman identity, so third gender. We also have man, so also possibly a man. For skin tone, we got medium as well. For place, we have a forest, village, or an island, okay? And for profession, we have teacher. We also have speaker, or a leader of something. I thought speaker would be the best way. I probably should just put leader, but we have that. Carpenter, and we also have hunter for you as well. So keep all of these characteristics in mind if they resonate, or, you know, in the future. So now we're going to move into the message from them. So let's go ahead and see. So ancestor that is coming to you in your dreams, or has already come to you in your dreams. You know, again, maybe you didn't realize it. Duality, 2 sides to every coin is what I just heard. Retreat. Okay. You got 2, so I'm gonna shuffle again. It's 2 cards flipped out. Ancestor that is coming to their dreams or will come to their dreams or has already came to their dreams. What is your message for them? Masculine energy. Okay. Immediately picking up on the sense that you may be tapping a little bit too much into your masculine energy. You may be doing a little too much, and I say that because we have duality and retreat. It is very possible that they want you to take some time to rest, especially, it makes sense, especially if you're going to meet them. 5 of Knives, let's keep that in mind, but especially if you're meeting them on a island or in a forest where it's just a lot of nature, or a old village. You know, you weren't, it's just the vibes back then and the way we live now are 2 completely different things. They are. So some of them may be telling, I just heard you're doing too much, which is similar to number 1, but not exact. They just really want you to more so focus on taking some time to rest. You can't pour into the lineage if you're too tired to do anything. Especially if it's working for someone else's dream, is what I heard. Okay, so what I'm picking up on again, or what I'm picking up on is the reason they're really emphasizing this retreat and this just, you know, rest, is some anxiety with this group, specifically regarding conflict with all of this Knives energy. Really just wanting you to take time to breathe. Yeah, I just had to breathe for a second. Wanting you to take time to breathe, wanting you to take time to simply not focus on, I'm hearing arguments, on disagreements, taking sides. Is really cutting off things that are draining your energy. There you go. Cutting off things that are draining your energy. I feel like they're saying you're giving too much of yourself, which makes sense because we have hunter, speaker, teacher, and carpenter. All of these professions, in my opinion, you had to have a lot of energy, and you gave a lot of yourself. You give a lot of yourself to be a teacher, to be a leader, to be a hunter, and I want to say even a carpenter, especially, you know, generations ago, because I mean, you were literally building everything from the ground up on your own. They're asking you to, similar to number 1 but not quite, to give all yourself to outside things, especially I'm hearing to things that are not serving the lineage, because when you pour into everything else to the point of exhaustion, like I said, you would not be able to pour into lineage, and that is the ancestors' main concern, pouring into the lineage, because we are a continuation of the lineage. Why am I not surprised that came out? I'll show you. Mom and Pop Spot, proud. I'm not surprised that this card came out at all, because they, even before I shuffled this, they were speaking of, you know, pouring into something outside of yourself or for other people or for someone else's dream. Proud, family owned, independent business, self-sufficient, creator, innovator. And it pops up so much, you know, in readings of just how you should focus on creating your own thing, and we see it a lot of this shift of, you know, instead of focusing on building up our dreams or building up someone else's dream, excuse me, with our own energy, it's like this huge shift nowadays into building up something for you, for your lineage, for your legacy, and putting all of your energy instead in that. We also have spirit is listening, spirit is present. Ask the right questions, avoiding bigger issues to address small ones. Ask the big questions. This is the thing, and this may get a little controversial, but you know, it's the ancestors. The ancestors are all about speaking the truth and facts. What I've noticed, and you know, it may get a little political, if so, excuse me, but you know, it's this recent discussion on how, at least in the US, there's a shortage of workers. There's a shortage of workers. A lot of companies saying that they can't find people to fill in their positions. And I'm not going to go into details, but what I've been wondering, and what I was discussing with a friend recently, and I'm like, is there a shortage of workers, or is the way that we're operating as a society just not working anymore? I mean, it's really never has worked, but you know, this past year has really shown us what exactly it is that we want, and how the way we were living life of just constantly going and spending all this time away from home, and you know, not really having any time in your own home, and not really having any time to yourself, at least in the US. I know it's not like that in most countries or in other countries. It just simply wasn't working. And then we also have to acknowledge Saturn retrograde. Saturn retrograde is, when you think about Saturn, I like to think about it as the strict high school teacher, you know, that had the best intentions for you, but you still didn't want to deal with it anyway. Like, you knew you were going to learn the most, and they would, you know, help you out the most, but you didn't want to like deal with that energy because it was so strict and like disciplinary. But Saturn is retrograde now. And to me, Saturn is really all about structure and discipline and all these things. Saturn retrograde is basically asking, this is a timeless reading, but again, I acknowledge where we are right now. Is what you're doing currently working for you? If it's not working for you, well, Saturn retrograde is going to show you that, and it's going to ask you, well, what would you want to be doing? I was watching a video earlier today that said, if you didn't have to work 40 hours a week, what would you spend that time doing? If all your needs were met and you didn't have to go spend 40 hours a week at this other place, what would you be doing instead? And that, I feel, is what your ancestors are emphasizing. If you didn't have all of these obligations, what would you want to do? What would you want to bring to the world? What would you want to focus on? They really want you to focus on that, especially because I'm feeling like you're supposed to be building up something that's going to help the lineage overall. Taking time away from, again, you know, we have this duality of masculine energy. Taking time away from always doing, like I said earlier, for something outside of yourself. Instead focusing, retreat also, I'm picking up just, kind of like retreating to you, to your dreams of what it is you want. You know, what do you want? What do you want to bring to the world? If everything was taken care of, what would you want to do? It's always a good question to ask yourself, especially if you feel yourself like being exhausted by all the responsibilities that we've created, because we technically created all these because the earth had everything we needed. We just decided to make more. Oh, yay, cool. We are what our thinking makes us. Oof. So some of you this may be further a confirmation because you've been feeling iffy about your current job or what you're spending most of your time doing, and you're like, I just need to focus on me. Take that as confirmation. If you are feeling limited in any shape, way, or form, this is the time you need to really go inside and realize that you are not. Society is what tells us that we are limited. Deep down, we know we are not limited. We are of the divine, therefore we are limitless. There's divinity within all of us. The divine is not limited. It's really that simple. So if the divine isn't limited and you're part of the divine, multiple cards came out, so I'm not going to take these, but I will take a look at them. And you're part of the divine, I mean, then how can you be limited? You can only be limited if you tell yourself so. Ooh, there we go. 5 of Hearts. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm going to say reject. Ooh, I just heard rejecting, like, not tradition, but rejecting what is projected onto us. You always learn a lot when you lose than when you win. You always learn a lot when you lose than when you win. Sometimes even I have to sit on these cards with the proverbs that are given, because that's how I like to read them. But what I'm taking from this, when everything is going right in our lives, and even if we're not happy, if things are still appearing like really, really good on the outside, externally, most of the time we're not going to we're not going to question it. Most of the time we're going to stick in our own comfort zones. When things feel like they're kind of falling apart, that's when you're going to take the time to really question if this is what you want to do. You know, when the pandemic hit, it's a lot of people who question, like, okay, like I just said, last year in 2020? Is this, I spent most of my life doing this. This year showed that we were doing something complete, like we could do things in a way we've never done them before. Do I really want to revert to the old is what I'm hearing. I'm also getting the feeling that, again, the Saturn retrograde is really going to be hitting a lot of you hard. Would highly recommend to see where Saturn lies in your chart, but or where Capricorn lies in your chart. I just see a lot of you are going to be questioning the things around you and your external circumstances, and the ancestors want you to do that. They want you to question all these things because they want you to go to where your heart is truly led and not what you feel like you should be doing, because that's what society says we should be doing. So with that being said, this is my reading for my number 2s. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you like and comment. Let me know if it resonated. If you would like to see more of my content, please make sure you smash the subscribe button and the bell. And I really do thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day and a beautiful life. Bye. So for those of you that chose deck 3, let's go ahead and look at their profession, how they may appear, where they may appear, colors they may wear, possible gender, things of that nature. If it's a little choppy, it's because it's so difficult to shuffle with these. I don't want to take up all your time with my ungraceful shuffling. Okay, so singer flipped over. We had this for number 1 as well. Okay, revolutionary. Revolutionary, think of the best examples I can think of is like Fred Hampton, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, people who went against the status quo for the benefit of the people. So also somebody like Angela Davis. Yes, I'm mainly naming civil rights leaders because that's what I can think of at the moment, and I can't think of a lot of revolutionaries before like that time because my history knowledge isn't the best. I'm sorry. Okay, we have 4s for you. 4s came out again. Alright. Just gonna go ahead and keep shuffling. Maybe I should make a deck, because geez, I am struggling. Okay, so we have fair and field. If these pop out again, I'm gonna keep them in mind, or I'll keep them, but since multiple came out, prefer to get just one, please. So for possible profession, we have singer, revolutionary, herbalist, so somebody who works with herbs, mercenary. Don't even have to go into that. I'm kind of getting like Deadpool vibes, like they weren't like a bad person, but if somebody is gonna pay them for something, then they're gonna go ahead and do it, like Deadpool, Slade Wilson vibes. Magician, this is referring to anybody who practiced magic, but since it's a variety of cultures we could be talking about, I didn't want to be specific. For a place, we have desert, island, field, or forest. So I want to note we didn't get city or village, so all connected to nature. We also have fair, a man in the colors green, orange, gold, and red. It may be one, it may be a combination, it may be all 4. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the message from them. So for the ancestor who, for number 3, you're either going to appear in their dream or you already have, what is your message for them? What is it that they need to know? That wants to jump out, so yeah. Integration. Integration. Okay, I want to note the imagery going on. It's a snake and it's like the setting moon by a lake. Just wanted to note that imagery because it really stuck out to me. Also have omens. Okay, so maybe an owl or a snake will be at omens. They're saying to look at your surroundings. Another moon. We also have the sun, and just that emphasis on you meeting them in nature. Really wanting you to pay attention to getting messages through nature. One more card, really emphasizing, ooh, ascension. Okay. So obviously you all are going to be ascending, and we have another sun. Oh, so it's like kind of a cycle. I see a lot of you kind of going dormant for a bit and isolating yourselves, even though I don't have the Hermit because we haven't done our stuff with the tarot. I'm getting this Hermit energy of you going inward, and then essentially when you come back out into the world, you're going to seem as if you're a different person. Okay. 2 cards came out. Oh no, I'm going to keep these 2 cards. I am. Look at what we got. We have 10 of baskets right here. But what really stuck out to me is the Tower, or the big house. So some of you, I'm hearing, have recently or will be going through a huge transformation. Look at all of the people falling out of the house. And this was, okay, some of these messages I swear are tying together. Because for my number 3s, I couldn't help but get the feeling that for some of them, some things were falling apart, and I'm getting the same thing for you, especially with Saturn going retrograde. So I told number 3s, I look at Saturn as kind of like the strict high school teacher that everybody kind of avoids, but they know they should go to them because that's where they're going to get like the most knowledge and wisdom. But you still avoid them because they're the strict high school teacher. And just with Saturn going retrograde, just kind of like breaking down these structures that are really not for our benefit. Yeah, and moving on to a new path. Ooh, 7 of baskets. So obviously viewing the options you have in front of you. 10 of coins that are going to lead you to fulfillment, abundance, prosperity for the lineage overall. Usually I wouldn't take cards like that, but they're all really flowing nicely together, so I am. Going out on a limb to try something new, to do something that's never been done before is what I'm hearing. That obviously is going to bring you this 10 of baskets, so this happiness within your family I'm hearing, as well as prosperity to go through more than just your generation, but prosperity for your children as well as your grandchildren and forward. A Sheo, which is like the Fool. So yeah, I just said the Sun is Sticks energy. Really jumping out on a limb and doing something that's never been done before. So just having, I just see like this period of isolation after I heard for some traumatic, but just this like something really shook you up to your core. And Saturn retrograde is asking you essentially like, are you going to allow things to stay like this? Like, do you want to continue on with life like this? Or do you want to move forward into something new? You taking the time to really just be alone and understand your thoughts and what it is you are desiring, undergoing this transformation, and like coming out with this energy of, okay, well, I'm willing to take this leap of faith to go and try this, to bring abundance, prosperity, and just true happiness. I'm going to take a look and realize I'm not limited, and look at all of these different options and embody the Fool. Do something that I've never done before, because at this point I no longer have fear, because I'm picking up for some traumatic or just really it shook you up. Whatever this was, it shook you up. I no longer have fear about life. I've already faced the darkness. I now know there's nothing else but light to move forward to. Oh my god, that's really, really deep. I don't really feel like I need to shuffle like the rest of these cards, but I will. That is what's coming through. Oh yeah, because you have the Mercenary. I heard some of you may even be picking up karma from Revolutionary. You know, we love revolutionaries, herbalists, we love them all. But I'm picking up that some of you may have even like experienced some karma for what this ancestor did in this lifetime, or in their lifetime, excuse me. 9 of clubs, we have courage. Until the snake is dead, do not drop the stick. Yeah, so some of you have clearly seen the darkness, and You know what, you're right. That's why I was picking up on the snake earlier, just shedding the skin. You're shedding that part of yourselves, that chapter of your life, and deciding to move forward. I'm hearing, I'm not going to allow the past, I'm going to let this pass, but I'm not going to allow the past to dictate my future anymore. I'm not going to allow all these things that are just dragging me through the muck and weighing me down, because I'm seeing an anchor like tied to someone's, I'm seeing an anchor tied to like somebody's ankle and just feeling so dragged down by the world. I see you like essentially cutting the rope that's tied to that anchor. Okay. African child, responsibility for your personal spiritual development and sacrifices. Albino brothers, born to stand out, embrace every part of yourself. Dealing with childhood trauma. I did pick up on traumatic experiences. It may even be from childhood. Look, that can last with you for a long time. Being bullied, insecurities, and African spirit. We have warded off negative plans and plots against you. So this ancestor is not also coming through with a message, but also saying, hey, I know that you may be paying for some mistakes that I have done. So I am here to protect you, because I want you to have a good life. And I know that my karma may be preventing that to some extent. So after this karma is paid, I'm going to be helping you move forward in life. I'm going to be helping you with your personal development and wanting to move forward. I'm going to help you stand out. But first you need to embrace every part of yourself. First you need to shed this chapter, go through this healing, release these insecurities. I am willing to help you for what I know my karma has put you through. But I need you to go through this healing and go through this transformation in the darkness so we can move towards the light. Ooh, the ancestors are coming through. Oh man, okay. So that was the readings for my number 3s. If you enjoyed this, please make sure you like and comment, and letting me know if it resonated. If you would like to see more from me, make sure you smash that subscribe button and the bell so you know when I upload next. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and have a blessed day and a beautiful life. Bye. So for those of you that chose number 4, this is the reading for you. We're going to start with profession, possibly where you may see them, how they may look. So if it's a little choppy, it's because it's so difficult to shuffle with these cards, and I don't want to take up all your time shuffling these. That one to jump out. We have orange. Okay. So for you all, they may be a magician, so anything that dealt with magic in the community at that time, in that culture. You have elder, so someone who was an elder that people in the community went to for wisdom and knowledge. Carpenter, innovator, which I spoke of. Herbalist, just working with herbs, possibly gardener. Also have monk and fisher. We also have, they may be appearing in a desert or island. They may be medium tone, skin tone, dark skin tone, or medium to dark. Third gender, which just means there's not any typical 2 binary genders, or man. And for colors, they may be wearing green, silver, white, or orange, or a combination of a few of these colors or all of these colors. So keep all of these characteristics in mind if maybe someone has come to you in a dream, or just for your dreams in the future going forward. Let's go ahead and focus on the wrong deck. Let's start with this one. Message for my number 4s for ancestor that will either come to you in your dreams or has already came to you in your dreams. Joy. That makes sense with the professions we got. The last group, the professions were not bad, but let's not talk about what one of those professions was. But again, we have elder, magician, innovator, gardener, fisher. So like monk, a lot of these professions, they were finding joy in the moment, movement into balance. I really want you guys to pay attention to the rain coming down. I feel like rain is going to be very significant for you all. I'm hearing that it's going to be, rain for you all is refreshing. Also, this dragonfly is going to be... Okay, so sorry about that, number 4. So my camera ended up dying, so I actually had to take some time to just take a break and charge it up. But I do remember talking about rain being significant for you, and dragonflies from what I remember. So we're gonna keep moving on into this reading. What else? You have Ascension as well, which came up for number 3. So clearly a lot of energy regarding the ancestors coming through is letting people know that they are ascending. Let's see what else is coming through with these cards. Okay. Oh, Mother of Coins and Ace of Coins. That's what you're ascending. It's not... Ooh, okay. It's not more so in the spiritual sense. It kind of is, but I'm really getting this Ace of Coins. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Oh, it's with abundance and prosperity, which is similar to another one. I can't remember which. But here's the thing. Not only just for you, but I see so you can give to others as well. It's like you can rest easy with your own money and your own luxury, but I see you also being in that energy of really giving to others, not being stingy, being so financially abundant. And that's what the rain and the dragonflies and just this nature, when you look out to nature, nature is abundant in every shape, way, or form. The only time nature isn't abundant is when humans come through and like do something to mess with it. But if we look at nature overall, look at rain. Rain is abundant. Maybe not in some areas, but usually when it's pouring down rain, you realize that the planet is abundant in water. You realize that, you know, when you walk into a field, when you see grass, you know, we have an abundance of grass. It's not limited. Because we saw the desert was sticking up for you guys for the longest time. But when you see, you know, go to a beach, we have an abundance of sand. Go see an ocean, go see a lake, abundance of water. You're going to really be leaning into the fact and acknowledging, like, yeah, it is abundant in every way, shape, or form. I have multiple cards coming out, so I'm going to keep shuffling. But I see you just tapping into this power of realizing that a lot... I'm gonna grab this, even though a lot came out, it's tied to your message. Oh no, not the incense getting on this. Okay. The Prince of Clubs. The cultivator is alone, but those who eat are many. That's the energy I'm picking up on. While you may be building up all of this abundance and wealth, I see you're going to be sharing a lot of it. And when you think of the elder, let's think of the profession they are. The elder, the magician, the innovator, the herbalist, the monk. If anything, the monk may be solitary, but when you think about the fisher, the monk may be solitary, but you know, when they spread their messages, they're giving peace to the, you know, entire community. All these professions, while they may cultivate a lot of things on their own, they're really instilling this message and this principle of giving by realizing how abundant life really is. You know, the elder knows that wisdom is abundant, so they share it. The magician knows that magic is abundant. It's not a limited resource. They share it. Same for the innovator and carpenter. All these things are abundant. Herbalist, nature is abundant. The fisher, again, the fish is abundant. The water is abundant. The monk, peace. You know, there's as much peace as you can find. You just have to be willing to find and realize that it's abundant. They're really instilling this principle of it's not even in the complete sense of selflessness. It's just like this realization of there's no way, I don't have to be stingy because there's no reason to be stingy. But just having this deep sense of knowing, like, there's no reason to be stingy in any way, shape, or form. There's no reason to struggle for anything because we have unlimited resources in every area of our life. It's just really coming to the realization. Yes, society, modern society wants to say we are limited in some way, shape, or form. So we will fight over resources. So we will struggle, so we will feel that we have to do certain things or we're not going to be able to get a certain resource. But when we look at the truth of the matter, the truth from spirit, from the ancestors, from nature, it is that we are abundant, and that is the truth. Whether you have realized it or not, that is the truth. one person can bring a lot to many, as this card is stating, the Prince of Clubs. And you're going to be walking, you're going to be, what is it? Walking embodiment, is that the word I'm looking for? Like, you're going to embody that energy. Like, I may be one, but as we can see, one can do a lot for many. One can cultivate a lot for many, especially with those, just all of the professions. That's the message that they are telling you. Again, we have a lot coming through, but I'm going to do it anyway. 6 of Spades, change. It is the young trees that make up the forest. So I'm getting the fact that some of you may be trying to instill this knowledge into others, but it's going to take a while, because the truth of the matter is, you know, as humans, when we're older, it's really easy to be stuck in our mindsets. It's very easy to, man, that's a lot that flew out, so I'm going to reshuffle them. It's very easy to stay in your ways when you're older rather than when you're younger. Not saying that you can't change your mind, but just the longer that you go believing something, the harder it's going to be to deconstruct it. And I think that's why they're really coming to you to embody this, because they're saying as you embody this energy of showing how abundant everything is, because you're going to tap into that energy, you're going to tap into that abundance, and things are going to start to shift for you. Ascension, things are going to start to change once you have this realization. And you're going to be able to show those around you, like, if I can do it and I can embody this energy and I can show you how you don't have to, I heard grasp for straws, how you don't have to struggle, how you don't have to feel limited in any area. Especially when it comes to money, wealth, and prosperity. You don't have to either. If I don't have to, you don't have to either. And that is the truth of the matter. It is just as simple as if you believe it or not. But that is a divine truth. They're passing this wisdom on to you. They're coming to you to pass this wisdom to you. We have initiation. Look at it. Passing of wisdom, receiving one's destiny, respecting taboos. They're passing this knowledge and this wisdom on to you so you can continue to pass it throughout. I'm hearing your present day family and to the descendants, so everyone can have this knowledge, because all this wisdom that we're learning during this, essentially, like, this is, I don't want to say great awakening happening, but that's kind of how it feels. It's supposed to be passed down. It's not supposed to just stick with you. I'm hearing that eventually you're going to be an elder. We have the path, freedom, following your intuition, journey. You're going down your journey of realizing divine truths is what I'm hearing. This is just the first step, is what they said. This is just the first step. Father Spirit, protection, strong will, family, leader of the tribe. So they're going to be protecting you. And we did have man. I think we also had third gender with this one, but I am not 100% sure. And the incense are, you know, it's getting everywhere. Yeah, we had third gender as well, but they are embodying masculine energy and fatherly energy. So these are things to keep in mind. Reading for number 4s. I do want to say there's probably going to be multiple ancestors coming through to you through their dreams, and the beeping is going again, but I'm going to keep going because this is the end of the reading. So this, I'll most likely do another one of these in the future, because, you know, I've had at least 2 come through, many more, but those that I really connected with 2. So I'll most likely do this again in the future, because I am hearing this is just the first step, and there's going to be many coming to you, because I'm getting the feeling that you all are going to be an elder, and you're getting this wisdom passed on to you, but this is going to be a journey, and this is going to be more being passed on to you in the future. With that being said, if you enjoyed this reading, please make sure you like and comment, letting me know if it resonated. If you would like to see more of my content, please make sure you smash that subscribe button and the bell so you know when I upload next. And thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and have a blessed day and a beautiful life. Bye.